Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. ¿Cómo estáis todos? Bien, espero. I hope you're all well. Sorry it's been a little while since I've done a new video. A few things going on. If you want to know what's been going on, you can read my blog, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher, and all will be explained there. But anyway, I'm back. My video today, el video de hoy, voy a explicar 45, creo, or is it 35? Ay, Dios. Sí, 45 verbos españoles que empiezan con A. So, 45 Spanish verbs that begin with A, and this is to extend your vocabulary, or not vocabulary, the number of verbs you can use. Some of these verbs are nice and easy, sound exactly like what they are in English. Some of them are false friends, I'll be explaining them all. But basically, the idea of this video is to extend your potential for the words that you can use, because you know, to speak Spanish well, you only need to learn a bank of verbs, if you like. There's certain verbs that are used over and over again. But then when you get to a point where your Spanish is better, you can start to extend the range of the verbs that you can use. And that's the idea of this video. So 45 verbos que empiezan por A. Okay? Okay, número uno. Abalanzar. Oh, help if I hold up the book so you can see how it's spelled. Abalanzar. And this is to balance. You know, so again, balanzar is, nice and easy. It sounds like what it is in English, balance. So, abalanzar, to balance. And it is a regular verb. Vale, número dos, another nice, easy one. Acreditar, to accredit or to prove something. Acreditar. Número tres, activar, to activate. So all of these so far really are relatively easy to see what they mean in English. And so far, I think they are all regular verbs. In fact, all the ones on this page are regular. And all AR verbs, but not all the verbs I'll be looking at are AR verbs. But of course, AR verbs are the most common endings. So, you're likely to get more AR verbs than any others in here. So, acriminar, to incriminate. Again, you can see the correlation there between the two meanings. Abandonar, a nice, easy to abandon. So really, I think all those five on there, abalanzar, acreditar, activar, acriminar, abandonar, are all fairly straightforward. So, of course, to conjugate them, you just need your AR verb conjugations, which I'm sure you all know very well by now, in all tenses. Okay, right, got a few IR verbs here. So, número seis is not an IR verb, but actuar, another nice easy one, to act. Number seven, abatir. Now, when I first saw this one, I thought it was to abate. That would be nice and easy, wouldn't it? Abatir, to abate. But it's not, it's to overthrow or knock down something. So that's a little bit of a false friend, if you like. Acumular. That's to accumulate, so that's a nice straightforward one. Adaptar, to adapt, again, straightforward. Abdicar, to abdicate. So this is all these, apart from abatir, the others are more or less quite straightforward. So I'm sure you know, sometimes when you're trying to speak Spanish and you don't know the word, or especially a verb, we can sometimes sort of make it up. If you were trying to say, the king abdicated, If you don't know what to say, I mean, you would be right in this case because abdicar is to abdicate. But with any verb, I always recommend have a go at it. Take your English verb. So with that, if you were guessing that, you'd say, oh, el rey abdicó in 1999 or whatever. And you would be right because abdicate is abdicar. Now, you won't always be right, so sometimes you will get some blank looks, but I think it's always worth a try. With speaking, it's always important really to keep the not fluency but fluidity going. It's better that you say something and see if they understand than you just go panic stricken and don't say anything. You know, because if they don't understand, of course, they will correct you or ask or etc. So it's important to keep the fluidity going. Okay, so numero 11, adelantar, which is to advance or make progress, I believe. Yes, I've written it aside just in case, because some of these verbs don't mean what I think they're going to mean. But you can see this one, adelantar, okay, adelante is come on, let's go. Delante de is in front of. So you can see that this is to advance or to progress. Adelantar. Then we have adivinar. Now, at first you might think this doesn't correlate to the English because it is to guess. But of course, you know, we have that word to divine. Is it to divine something? Not divine as in heavenly, but like when you go water divining or things like that to try and find things. So that's how I try to remember that one. Adivinar, to guess. Abolir is a nice straightforward one. It is to abolish. Adjuntar. Now this is to attach. So like when you're attaching something on your emails or attaching anything to anything else, you would use adjuntar. Admirar, to admire. Nice, easy, straightforward verb. So, I mean, I think the way to learn these verbs, I mean, I haven't put an example sentence of each one, but of course, that's what you could do. I would recommend you doing some example sentences, maybe in different tenses. If you put them in the comments box, I'll correct them with pleasure. If you're not sure of them, or you can obviously correct them on the internet, etc. But yeah, the best way to get these sort of verbs into your head is to write examples of it. Okay, so numero 16, abrazar. I really like this verb. So this is to embrace or to cuddle. And you can see where abrazar comes from because arm is brazo. So that's probably where our word embrace comes from the Latin for arm. And abrazar is put your arms around someone. Adoptar, nice and easy to adopt. Adorar, to adore, again another nice word. Now, acabar is to finish doing something. So that doesn't really bear any resemblance, but acabar is to finish. And numero 20, afilar, I think we can see the correlation there. Afilar is to sharpen. So you can see that it's like to file something. So to sharpen a knife, to sharpen anything, a pencil, etc. Afilar. Okay, I particularly like this verb. I don't know why, I just think it sounds nice. Animar, to encourage, to cheer somebody up. Or someone might say to you, animo, cheer up, you know. So animar, to encourage or cheer up. My least favourite verb out of all the verbs in Spanish, I wasn't going to put it in this video for that reason because I think, well, if I have trouble saying it, then it's not going to be very easy for anybody else. But is this verb ahorrar? So this is to save, as in to save money, you know, that's why maybe if you see banks, they're called caja de ahorros. But I think it's just a very difficult verb to pronounce, I think, because it's got the H there, which of course we don't pronounce, and then the double R, which, you know, is a bit hit and miss for most British people because we're not, you know, taught how to roll our R's from children like the Spanish are. But needless to say, it is also an important verb, so I do try and... So you can't use salvar for to save money. Salvar is to save, much easier to say, but that'd be like to save a person or to save someone from drowning. But to save money can only be this horrible verb, which is ahorrar. Okay, then we've got aceitar, which is to oil, which again, this one does make sense because, of course, aceite is oil, so aceitar is to oil. Aconsejar, to advise. Alcanzar, to reach something. Alcanzar, nice verb. Most of the verbs that have got Zs in them, or words in general in Spanish with Zs in, are more from Arabic than Latin in general. Because, of course, there's a heavy Arabic influence on Spain from the Moors when they invaded several times. So most verbs and words in general that have a Z in them come from the Arabic. Now, as I'm saying that, I'm sure someone will come forward and say, oh, well, this one isn't, but that's my general understanding. Okay, número 26, alienar, to alienate. Número 27, amar, to love. Of course, we can also use querer for love, but amar also. Número 28, ampliar, to extend or to make something bigger. A bit like amplify, I suppose. Analizar, nice and easy, to analyze. Trenta is acostar. Now, acostar is to put to bed. Now, you know, if we use it reflexively, it's to put ourselves to bed. So we would, you know, me acuesto a las 10 normalmente. I go to bed at 10 normally. I put myself to bed. But if you're putting the baby to bed or putting someone else or the dog to bed or whatever, then you would use it non-reflexively, acostar, but it's still a diphthong in the present tense. So, me acuesto a las 10 or acuesto a mi hijo a las 10. I put my son to bed at 10. Vale, número 31, acariciar. Acariciar. Why am I thinking? I think it's not acariciar. Yeah, it is. So I tried to pick these verbs that were easy to say, but when they've got a lot of vowels in, I'm tripping up over the vowels. Acariciar. And this is to caress. So a very nice verb. Anotar, to note down. Anticipar, to anticipate. Apagar. Now, this is not to pay, as you may think, because, of course, pagar is to pay, but apagar is to turn off, like turn off the tap, turn off the light, etc. Aparcar, to park. So all those are nice, regular AR verbs. There are a lot of AR verbs, aren't they? I mean, of course, AR verbs do make up the main body of Spanish, but so you can see just in this exercise really is a lot more AR verbs than any others. Aparecer, to appear. Aplaudir, to applaud. Arrancar. Now this is an interesting verb because this is to start a car or a motor of some kind. So you would not use arrancar to start a book or to start writing or to start something. It's only a motor to start a car. And again, you would not use comenzar or empezar to start up your car. You will use arrancar. Asar, to roast. Asesinar, to murder or assassinate, I suppose you could think. But it's not, I think we have a different I can't even say the English. Assassinate is not really the same as to murder, is it? It's sort of we think of assassinate like when we do to a president or to like almost like a more distant hit, if you like, maybe being paid to do it, etc. Whereas murder is more personal. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas in Spanish, they don't have a differentiation between that. Asesinar is to assassinate or to murder. Okay, so, ¿dónde estamos? 41. Now, this is a false friend. Asistir is not to assist, it's to attend, as in to attend a class or to attend a function. Asistir, not to attend, not to assist, but to attend. Atacar, that is to attack, so that one's straightforward. Atar is to tie up, to tie up something or someone, depending on, what floats your boat. Avisar, to advise. Well, it's more to warn than advise. So it looks like it'd be to advise, but it's not. It's when you warn someone. So it is a more dramatic version than advise. It is to warn. And ayudar, which you may have seen, which is to help. Okay, so we've got, tenemos ahí 45 verbos que voy a repetir. Lo repetimos desde el principio. So, abalanzar, acreditar, activar, acriminar, abandonar, actuar, abatir, acumular, adaptar, adaptar, abdicar, adelantar, adivinar, abolir, adjuntar, admirar, abrazar, adoptar, adorar, acabar, afilar. Animar, ahorrar, aceitar, aconsejar, alcanzar. Alienar, amar, ampliar, analizar, acostar. Vale, acariciar, anotar, anticipar, apagar, aparcar. Y aparecer, aplaudir, arrancar, asar, asesinar. Y 5 más. Asistir, atacar, atar, avisar, ayudar. Vale, 45 verbos que empiezan por A. So I hope you find a chance to use them para ampliar tu vocabulario, tus verbos, to extend your range of verbs that you can use and then therefore be able to say more things. So, yeah, good luck with that. Write me any comments, if you've got anything you want to ask or you want me to check. Also, don't forget my Patreon channel, where there are a lot more videos that are not available on my normal YouTube channel. There are 3 different tiers: €3, Bronze Star Student, €3 a month, Silver Star Student, €5 a month, and Gold Star Student, €9 a month. And there are different benefits that go with each of the tiers. Remember, you can join at any time, you can cancel at any time. There's no minimum membership, so if you join for a month and you decide it's not for you, you can cancel then for the next month. And if you join on the Gold Star Student, you do receive a 1 hour, free 1 hour private class per month on Zoom, where you can ask me personally any questions or do a class or whatever it is or speak Spanish for an hour, whatever it is you want to do with that hour class. Also, with the Silver Star membership, there will be group sort of question and answer sessions that you'll be able to join in on for Silver Star and above. Not for Bronze Star, it's just the extra videos, and you can make suggestions for videos, etc. Okay, yes, and don't forget the books, of course, the Break the Language Barrier level books if you want to learn Spanish at home, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which complement the videos as well. And if you're not sure of which video goes with the exercise you're particularly doing, just always drop me a message, always drop me a line. I will always answer, either make it in the comments box or all my contact details or here in the description box. Vale, so gracias por mirar y te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. Gracias y cuídate. Hasta luego.